Hey, welcome back everybody to Learning to Be Prepared. My name is Jeremy, and today I want to just share with you my mini fire starting kit. This little kit is put together in a Maxpedition Micro Pocket Organizer, and you can get this little organizer for about $15.30. When we open this up, what I like about it is it's organized on the inside, but the whole kit is small enough that I can take it out of certain backpacks and put it in other backpacks, or if I wanted to, I could just even take it out of a backpack and slide it right into my pocket and go for a quick hike. The first thing that I have in here is going to be a small, inexpensive pocket knife. This is a knife that I don't have to worry about too much if it gets damaged or if I lose it. But I wanted to have a little bit of knife in here in case I wanted to feather some tinder or if I needed to cut some things while I'm out. It's just nice to have a little pocket knife in this kit because you never know what you might need it for. Okay, so let's start out with a few ways to make fire. One of the first things that I have in here is a Light My Fire, and this is going to be the little mini fire still. You're supposed to be able to get about 1,500 strikes out of it. Since this is a small little kit, I don't know that I'll ever get that many strikes off of it, but they have 3 different sizes, and this is going to be the smallest. This one right here sells for about $7.60, so it's a nice little small and it's very light. Okay, so the next thing I have in here is the handy Bic lighter. We all see these. Guys, you know, you can pick these up for about $1.30 at Walmart. And usually if you buy a 3-pack, it goes down, you know, 3, 4, 5 cents per lighter. And you can also get a 5-pack. I like to try to get a pack of lighters every so often, maybe once every couple months, just to have them on hand. The nice thing about this orange one is if I drop it while I'm out on a hike or going camping, it will hopefully be a little bit easier to see. The next way that I have to make fire is going to be by Ultimate Survival, and it's what they call the Sparky. It's kind of a one-handed fire starter. You squeeze this and it pops out. I have seen some reviews where people have a problem after a while of this little item here not really working properly, but for me it hasn't really been a problem. And as you can see, it's a little bit dirty because I've used this one multiple times and practicing with it and so forth. There's a couple ways you can hold this. You can hold it kind of one-handed and do a motion like that. And you can also take it where you hold it this way, and when you go to the ground, you just push down. These sell for approximately $7, and I think it's kind of nice. If I did ever get hurt and I only could use one hand, I thought this might be a nice little item to have. Kind of like the Bic lighter. You can use both of those with one hand and hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. The next item that I have in my kit are stormproof matches. These guys burn quite a while. You can dip these in water, pull them back out, and they'll continue to ignite. You buy a pack of them at Walmart, 25 matches for about $3.50, and they come as strikers too. I took mine and divided them up between a couple of packs, and I put them in these little tiny baggies that you can get from Walmart in the arts and crafts section. You get 100 of these little baggies for about 99 cents. And these little baggies come in very handy for all types of organization in your gear, so I'd recommend those. So these are going to be the 4 ways that I have to make fire in this little mini fire starting kit. Now let's go ahead and move on to some of the forms of tinder that I have. The first one that you'll see on the outside is called Live Fire. This Live Fire comes in 2 sizes. This is a 0.9 ounce and they have a 0.5 ounce. The small one, which is the 1/2 ounce, is $6.99, and the large one, which is 0.9 ounces, is about $10. Now you can light this in a couple different ways. When you open the hood on this, you can either open it partially like this. That way you can take your pocket knife. We'll just show you real fast here. Kind of poke up at some of the little fibers in here. And once you get those fibers puffed up, you can just go ahead and take your lighter or a match and light that. The further open you have this little lid here, the more this is going to burn. If you're using it just to light this, and then you take this and you stick it to under your tinder to kind of help light the fire a little bit, you probably don't need it open this far. But in the event that you might need to use this as an emergency heat, you might want to take it off a little bit further, light it, and you use it to warm your hands. This large one, I believe, burns for approximately 30 minutes, give or take. I've also seen people boil a cup of water on this. That would really be a last resort, I think. I wouldn't want to use this as a main source of cooking by any means. But this is one of the tenders that I like to have. I've used this just a couple of times, and as you can see, it does last a little while. I've probably burned this probably no more than 5 minutes because I've used it just to test it out, and it has a decent burn time. So this is one of the tenders that I use. The next tenders that I have are the wet fire tenders. You just tear this open. Once you open up the little pack, it has a little white cube on the inside of it, similar to maybe what a Nesbit fuel cube looks like, except these are a little bit smaller. And you would just open this up, take your knife and scrape a little bit of it off. And you can also take your knife and cut these. So if you don't want to use the whole thing at one time, you can do it just a little bit of it at a time. So I just keep 3 of these in here. And the reason I have a few different types of tinder like this is you never know where you're going to be and if it's going to be damp or anything like that. So I just wanted to have a few options. And guys, as a reminder, I'm building my gear not so much because I go camping on a regular basis. I wanted to build my gear in a way that I thought is someone who just wants to be prepared for the what ifs or those emergencies. And also, I do enjoy going hiking, and I wanted to have things on me that if I did need to go ahead and use them, even if I didn't expect to on a day hike, I had the stuff. If I have larger fire kits in my other types of bags, but this is just a small one that I can carry around and use for different things. So that's why I have the items that I'm showing you. It's not because I think they're the only ones to use or the best ones in every situation, but it's what works for me. Now, by the way, these wet fires, I bought them from Walmart. They were $5 for a 5-pack in the store. Last I checked, if you go on to walmart.com, you could buy a 12-pack at a much better cost. I think it was about $7 or $8. So you may want to check there in case you want to buy some for your own kit. That's all I'm going to have on this side of the pouch. On this other side, I have some other forms of tinder here. Now, you may have seen these, you may not. Let me get a couple of these out. The first item that I have in here is going to be some OB tampons. These are about $5 for a box of 40. If you go to my Instagram account, Learningtobeprepared, you can see a video of where I burned one of these. One thing that I like about these is they're wrapped in plastic. Once you take this plastic off, these can be unraveled, and they end up being about 6 inches long, about 2 inches wide. These have a pretty slow burn time, so if you got your firewood and some tinder put together, you could stick one of these kind of underneath it to your tinder, kind of get that tinder started, and this will burn hopefully long enough. I'd say about 30 seconds to a minute each. Inside this little pack that I have here, I have 4 of these. So I really recommend these, and if you watch enough YouTube, you'll find out that these OB tampons have so many uses that you can do just in a lot of areas of preparedness. So I think it's a great tinder to have. The next item that I have in here is a tinder. Is just going to be some twine. You can buy this at Walmart, guys, in a large roll for only $1.99, and it is a tremendous amount. You unravel this stuff and it burns quite well. Now, I keep a little bundle of this just in case I want to do different things with it. But if you're ever out camping and hiking and you're in a really cold environment, you may want to be able to have some of this already pulled apart and prepared, so if your hands are really cold, you don't have to worry about trying to fidget it and try to puff this stuff out. And what I mean by that is this. You'll want to take some of the twine and cut it in smaller squares, and then you take these individually, you pull it apart. And I already have some here. I like in different fire kits to keep little baggies of this. So basically, once you take that twine, you pull it apart, and then I just put it together in a ball. Now this stuff burns extremely fast, very, very fast. So you want to have the preparation for your fire already done. But this is just something that burns extremely well. And I like to keep these little bundles handy. Now I would probably put a lot more of this together to use as a fire starter. But again, it burns super fast, so you have to really be ready before you light this. This little wad, and even if it's a lot larger, it'll burn in a matter of seconds. So keep that in mind if you use this jute twine, okay? Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little kit. For me, it works as an emergency fire kit, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, press like and share. And feel free to leave any comments and suggestions, guys. Thank you.